And welcome back to the Hilton Head Pickleball Open. We are getting into the late night hours, but man, do we have a good one in store for you. It's men's pro doubles up next. We have a very solid matchup, AJ Kohler and Callan Dawson. They're coming from the loser side of the bracket, and they're facing off against the youngins. Yeah, that's Dylan Frazier and JW Johnson. Let's take a look at how we got here, because it's been a little bit of a challenge, if you might say, as Dawson and Kohler had, again, to face off against the same team in the winner's bracket. They've then lost and went to the bronze medal match, beat Nunnery and Stone. So we have a rematch of the winner bracket final. Nunnery and Stone walking away with the bronze. But what's up for grabs? That gold and silver. It's Cameron Irwin alongside Dominic Catalano, and we're going to be walking you through this entire matchup. I mean, what are some of your expectations heading into this one?
The Callan Dawson lob is going to be something to watch. 8 for 9 in the first matchup against these two. He was successful with it. So it's going to see what he's going to be able to do with that. Let's see what Johnson and Frazier can do to defend that.
Well, there's a look at Callan Dawson out of Carlsbad, California, down in North County, San Diego. Son of two great pickleball players as well, Jen Dawson and Steve Dawson.
Yeah, Callan Dawson, absolutely incredible player. Plays very unconventional, uses more of a ping pong paddle grip. Gonna be a pusher, keep that ball in play. Doesn't attack much, will attack. But again, look for that lob out of Callan Dawson.
So second part of Lob City, that's his partner, AJ Kohler. That's been an area of his game that he's developed in the last few months, looking for the lob as well. There's a look at AJ Kohler, currently out of Nevada.
Yeah, AJ Kohler, a good complement to Callan Dawson, where he will speed up a little more and play that harder game. We'll look for that kind of matchup, as AJ Kohler will be straight up against Dylan Frazier.
Well, currently rolling up the sleeves. That's what he's also known for. He does the other half of the Pat Smith. He goes both sleeves up, both guns showing. And on the other side of the net, I mentioned it, it's the young guns. So let's get to know them a little bit more. We've got JW Johnson, just 19 years old. It's so fun to watch what he's able to do. Some of the best hands and his ability to place the ball. It's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're going to see him. You won't know if he's up 9 or down 9. Very stoic, almost, and very similar. We talked about it last night. Very similar to Ben Johns. Very stoic. Not going to know if he's up 9, down 9. But again, the reach and the hands and that little backhand wrist flick of JW Johnson is going to be a difference here.
Well, and he just won gold last night in mixed pro doubles alongside Simone Jardim. And on his side now, substituting for Simone, well, it's Dylan Frazier. Of course, you can see Team Onyx on his chest. I mean, what kind of player is Dylan?
Dylan, the whole game. He's got everything. He can play hard. He can play soft. Great hands again, just like JW Johnson. I mean, it's Team Teenager here. You know, you're making Callan Dawson and AJ Kohler look like old men.
Look young.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
You're making them look old out here.
Somebody grab them a walker because they might be needed. Another fun thing to watch is how JW Johnson competes against AJ Kohler. They are very good friends, and also you always see a little bit of a wry smile out of each of them when they get 1 point or a rally or a speed up right at the chest of one another. So something to pay attention to as these four men are getting ready to go head to head. This is your gold medal matchup, men's pro doubles.
Early lob out of Callan Dawson.
I feel like we need one of those strikeout counters, right? Like in baseball, where they're putting up the Ks as they go. We need that for the lobs.
Exactly.
Somebody build one and put it on the fence.
You guys listening out there? This is an early statement right there from Callan Dawson, going straight up on JW Johnson and winning the hands battle.
There's the error off of Dawson. But not after a few points put on the board. 2-0.
0, 2, 1.
There's that grip you were talking about. Nice flip there from AJ Kohler.
Yeah, and Callan Dawson creates off of that shot. Not many people can do that. Him, Rob Cassidy, another one who uses that very similar grip.
Ernie.
I mean, and J.W. Johnson's going to get all the credit for that, but that's set up by Dylan Frazier. Watch how hard cross court he goes. All Callan Dawson can do is try and reset that right there, and J.W. Johnson reads it so well.
Again, there's the lob. Dylan Frazier works back to kitchen. There's the hitch from Callan Dawson.
That's it right there, and that's the hard part about that is when he hitches, he freezes you. It's almost like a pitcher in baseball throwing that curveball, and you're like, oh, frozen, and you're like, you don't know what to do.
Point.
3-1 now for Dawson and Kohler. Again, they'd have to win the 2 out of 3 along with another match, which would be played 1 game to 15 to pick up the gold. Lob not quite high enough.
Yeah, good read there from J.W. Johnson. Watch as Dawson goes to hit this. Instant reset there from J.W. Johnson.
Reset by Dawson. Ball long.
If you can hear the court next to us, the crowd cheering over there. It's a family affair. That is Julie Johnson on the court adjacent to us, playing in the women's senior pro doubles.
Julie Johnson, a very formidable pickleball player herself, along with Georgia Johnson, the younger sister
Whole family.
of JW.
Jack is there for the sport.
1-4-1.
Callan's dinking margin is probably only 2 inches above the height of the net. Oh, and just off the tip of the paddle.
When we talk about that as perfect kind of lead-in, Cam, is talking about that dinking from Callan Dawson. He's more of a pusher. He really doesn't dink with a lot of pace. He's all about trying to make you make a mistake and get frustrated.
So he'll sit. Wow, reads that attempted Ernie so well. Dylan Frazier just whipping that into the deep corner.
Yeah, and Callan just kind of got stuck on his side, didn't cover middle. Wide open there for Frazier.
Have to move as a team in pickleball. Trying to lip that one back over, and it is a 3-point run, so we are tied up 4-all.
4-4-1.
Couple net trickles, and a 5th point now for Frazier and Johnson.
Yeah, net threw that whole point off right there. Fortunate for Johnson and Frazier.
This time the lob from AJ Kohler. Dropped back.
It's a tough kind of pickup right there for Dylan Frazier, trying to speed that up from that sideline position. It's a high part of the net at 36 inches. Try and go towards the center of the net, 2 inches lower at 34. Much easier.
And attacking the feet, there's Dawson. So ending the 4-point run for Johnson and Frazier. They now trail by 1.
4, 5, 1.
We have our medals ready to award in the women's pro doubles. Congratulations, bronze medal winners Lauren Stratton and Lee Whitwell. Silver, Simone Georgine and Catherine Parenko. And your gold medal winners, Vivian David and Lena Jansen. Ladies, congratulations. Please leave your curtain record Mr. Cameron outside court number 7 to receive your awards.
Looks like they're continuing to add a little bit more pressure to JW. There's the lob again. This time it's lobbed back, rainbow shot, and it's in bounds.
Wow. Absolutely incredible return there from JW Johnson. This ball lands in the back corner.
4, 5, 2.
You lob, I lob, we all lob. Drive. This time poached by Callan, the other direction.
Uh-oh, straight up here. Callan got over the top of that. I think he thought Johnson hit that a little harder than he actually did.
5, 4, 1. Point.
And an early pull there from AJ Kohler. 6-4 now. So they were up 4-1.
4, 1.
A nice 5-0 run here from Frazier and Johnson.
Second server. 6, 4, 2.
And well prepared, well anticipated, this ball for JW Johnson. Watch how he steps back, quick whip.
Just lightning quick hands right there, and that's in slow motion. It's moving fast.
That's how you know. 7-4. Lob. Working his way. Lob and straight through the wickets or the legs of AJ Kohler.
AJ Kohler, the hockey player, would say that's 5-hole right there.
I was going to ask if they just scored 3 points off that. Straight through the uprights.
Point. Timeout receivers. 1 minute.
8-4 now, 9-4. A jigsaw health hydration break is going to be called for Dawson and Kohler. And again, they were up 4-1.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden things change.
Yeah, it looked like Dawson and Kohler were in control early in this game, coming out strong. And it's not that they've lost, any momentum. They're playing great points, but the issue right now is that Dylan Frazier and JW Johnson are hitting things with a purpose right now, and they are putting pressure on, and so they're not allowing them to do anything.
It's interesting too, because this was actually picked up in straight sets in the winner's bracket final as well, and then all of a sudden you got to play another match in that bronze medal match to come back and face the same team. I mean, in terms mentally, that's got to be very challenging. Do you change your approach, or do you just try and focus on execution?
Right, and I think they were at first focusing on the execution, and they were executing right away. They came out right away, and Callan Dawson went right at JW Johnson and won a hands battle. First point. That should have propelled them forward, and it kind of did. Then they hit a stall, and now Johnson and Frazier on an 8-1 run, or 8-0 run.
There's a little bit more pace.
Using that timeout well, get the side out.
4, 9,
Well, if you can go on an 8-0 run, Dawson and Kohler are more than capable doing the exact same thing. ATP missed and a much needed point.
It was there. Frazier stood and kind of reached for it. He needs to slide his feet completely out there and get around that shot. It's there though.
Hand battle won this time for Kohler. 6-9. That's what I call winning a timeout.
6-9.
Absolutely. Get the side out, get 2 points right away.
Point.
7-9. Just like that, a little momentum, a little energy.
7-9-1.
There's the lob, beautifully placed, his 8th in this match. Or the 8th lob, at least on that side.
What a spot too. I mean, he dots the back corner with it like he's done it before.
And it's also, it forces Dylan Frazier to have to hit that with a backhand. That's not an easy shot.
And he's dropping it back in too.
There it is again. That time,
Second server.
just long.
I
Still
like it.
second serve, though.
Super confident right there in it. Love it.
He's taking that ball from so low and just flipping that up and quickly over the top. That's an aggressive serve. And Kohler matching the lob with pace from one point to the next, and we are all tied up.
9-9-2.
8 total lobs now for Kohler and Dawson.
Point.
Now
You
it
gotta
come-
be kidding
Now
me.
it comes to a point where Johnson and Frazier need to calm down. Don't get frustrated with it. Just play it back. That was a frustration shot out of Johnson right there.
When they got the ball back, it was 9-4 and they were trailing. Now it's game point and it goes their direction. So a run of points, both sides. And all of a sudden, Kohler and Dawson pick up the victory in game 1, 11-9.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. You watched that replay right there. You saw Callan Dawson and AJ Kohler on their toes. You saw Frazier and Johnson on their heels. That's the difference right there.
Well, we've got more coming from the Hilton Head Pickleball Open Men's Pro Doubles. Game 2 coming up next.
Go again, until you strike just right, until the ball sings, until the other guy blinks, until the court's clear, and the sun sets, until you see it in your sleep, and wake up swinging. Go again, till you can't miss, until you can't lose. Go again, and again.
New People Pickleball.
12 miles of beach here at Hilton Head, but 24 dedicated pickleball courts here at Palmetto Dunes for the APP Hilton Head Pickleball Open. We are in men's pro doubles, second game just about to get underway in our gold medal matchup. And so far, those coming out of the losers bracket picked up the first game in a wild game one with several runs of points. That's Callan Dawson and AJ Kohler. Cameron Irwin alongside Dominic Catalano.
Johnson did not expect that to come back there from Kohler.
I don't think Kohler expected it to come back too. He gives a little bit of a wry grimace. Look like that grimace emoji, right? On your iPhone. Flipped up, but that time, nice read from Dylan Frazier.
0-0-2. Side out.
Tough ball to attack right there as Callan tries to attack at the body of J.W. Johnson. He just slaps that down with the backhand at AJ Kohler.
0-0-2.
Goes 5-hole again.
Still 0-0.
Point.
Lob, and JW's all over it.
1-0-2.
Defending the middle well, Callan Dawson. Flipped up, and that's the beautiful thing. It's a setup and a put away. Not always looking just to hit that winner right off the first ball.
No, absolutely. You're looking for the mistake after you speed up right there. So speed up at 70, put away at 100 on the next one.
Side out.
Winning that hands battle right now are Dawson and Kohler.
0-1-1.
Dylan Frazier able to recover.
Point.
You underestimate the quickness of Dylan Frazier. Doesn't look, quote unquote, like he's very fast.
It's like a cheetah.
Dylan is very fast.
The deceptive cheetah, that's what we'll call him.
Yes.
I mean, it's crazy to watch Kohler defend the middle. He doesn't even have to move to be able to do it because his reach is so long.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's helping his partner, Callan, who's not as tall and as long, cover that spot.
Side out. 1-1-1.
Man, look how far Callan reaches in to be able to dink that. Ernie defended. And an opposite Ernie and a kitchen violation. Callan tries to jump as far as he can here.
Point.
Catches just the sideline there of the kitchen.
2-1-1.
Lob not going their direction this time.
No.
It's like a perfect set.
Yeah, and Dylan Frazier got that on the way up. Like quick set right there, right? Yeah, on the way up.
It's a 2-ball.
That's it right there.
1-1.
Oh my goodness, Callan Dawson. How did he get that?
The fact that we're back in a dinking game right now.
Completely reset. Anyone's rally at this point. Oh, and finishing it off is J.W. Johnson, but you have to love the fight and tenacity of Kohler and Dawson fighting off some heavy, heavy swings.
Deja vu 4-1 lead here for Johnson and Frazier.
1-1.
But
It's
remember,
flip
it's the
side.
opposite, yep.
There's a flip.
Ball.
And a ball comes on to the court, so we will replay as that one came from across the way.
4-1-1.
Still plenty of pickleball taking place late into the evening, 8 o'clock now.
Point.
Kohler trying to slide and do the inside-out forehand there.
It's there, not a bad decision, just
5-1-1.
execution, not the best.
Point.
6-1, and a timeout will be called
6-1-1.
as Dawson and Kohler find themselves in not the best position here in game number 2, but we saw them come back. What? It was 7-point run, 6-point run to finish out game number 1, so they are never out of the count. As you take a look at the current Nevadan, and there's a look at J.W. Johnson.
Can't tell if he's up 10, down 10, up 11, 12, whatever.
Well,
Very stoic.
Yeah, and there are a lot of professional athletes you look around that have that same mentality. You can't tell if they're ahead or behind, but they just kind of stay so steady and always know exactly what they bring to the court. And then you look at the other side. There is the beautiful thing of the emotion, the intensity, but there's also the drawback of those shortfalls when things maybe aren't going your direction if you are more of that emotional player. Myself being one of them. The highs and the lows.
I'm with you. I am a very emotional player when I play. I like that. I want to feel that. When I'm in points, I want to be in that point. When we win points, I want to celebrate those points, but I'm also hard on myself too.
Oh, yeah. That's the fun part about pickleball. We always talk about the community element, but it's also all about finding partners to play with, who you're best suited to play with. Because there's a lob the opposite direction. I always think it's fun, too, when somebody's beating you a certain direction. Give them a little taste of their own medicine, see how you handle it.
That's exactly what Frazier did right there. And from this side, so the side we're on, the near side on the camera, wind is blowing towards them, so in their face. So if Frazier and Johnson want a lob, the wind will knock it down and help them a little bit.
Couple balls dug out. Nice push dink there. And catches Dylan Frazier right on the right shoulder.
Yeah, and that's set up by the cross-court dink there from Callan Dawson as he pulled Frazier all the way to the sideline, pulled him out of position.
1-7-1.
But they have now stopped the bleeding as they've got the serve back. And driving that short third kind of puts them a bit behind the ball.
1-7-2.
And again, trying to catch Dylan Frazier as he works through that stack. So all it took was two rallies to get the serve back. Quick side out.
7-1-1. Second server.
Looks like they're starting to attack Dylan Frazier a bit more here.
Yeah, not a bad idea if you start to go at Frazier, ice J.W. Johnson out a little bit. See if you can frustrate him a little into making some mistakes eventually.
We need a lead forward to court number 13, please. A lead forward to court number 13.
Wind pushes that out just a little bit. Off this paddle, that looked good for Callan Dawson, but a little long there.
8-1.
Yes, you are. I will recall. 8-1-2.
When you finish here, take a lead forward down to 15.
Wind really picking up now.
Boys.
9-1.
Yeah, this is all Frazier and Johnson right here. A quick reaction.
I'm so casual as Dylan Frazier as he puts that ball away. Just slapping it down. Oh, Dylan Frazier gets one in the face.
Wear that off your left cheek.
Oh, it's actually more so the chest.
1-9-1.
The chester. Oh, and the miscommunication.
Yeah, Dawson thought Kohler was going to continue to stay in that point and play that ball in the middle on his forehand. He doesn't.
Callan Dawson coming in the middle, aggressive, puts a point on the board. It's fun to watch Callan Dawson dink too, because if you notice, a lot of times when he gets that ball out of the middle, he actually sends it back to the line, up to the sideline, kind of at a funky angle. You don't see a lot of athletes do that.
No, you don't. You'll see him push cross court hard.
Soft hands for Dawson. And there it is. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Uses that backhand and pushes it back that direction. A lot of athletes won't do that because it's a shorter distance.
Yeah, and then they're worried about the Ernie too, and so they won't go to that spot. But Callan very comfortable going to that spot, and because you talked about it earlier, he keeps that ball so low to the net.
Low.
Even if you do try and Ernie it, it's very hard for you to do anything with it.
9-2-1.
9-2. Quick hands. A lot of cheering on the court next door where Julie Johnson still continues to play.
9-2-2.
Testing all parts of the kitchen now. Kohler working well around that ball with his feet.
White, we need a blower on court number 13 and 15. White, please go to court 13 and 15 with a lead blower.
Dink rally continues. There's that volley. First volley we've seen. Ernie defended. This rally's had everything so far.
So much movement.
Where will the error come? There, the quick speed up from J.W. Johnson. Backhand flick. Brings us to game point. 10-2.
No, he's not. I will recall the score.
Making sure they've got the correct server.
2-2.
Now Dylan Frazier, ball in hand. Dawson look to protect against the lob as well.
It's almost like a challenge, and the challenge was set by Callan Dawson. Callan's like, I'm going to lob as much as I can. What do you guys think you can do? His partner next to him is going, I can lob too. And now all of a sudden he's sucked in J.W. Johnson and Dylan Frazier saying, well, anything you can do, I can do better.
The way that J.W. Johnson shifts, watch his hand speed here. Forehand, backhand, sit steady, so casual, and I mean that in the best possible way. He's playing free, right, in those hand battles, staying neutral.
Yeah, and he just goes forehand to backhand so quick and so easy.
10, 2, 1.
So another game point for Frazier and Johnson. Aggressive dink. There it is, game number 2. Going to Frazier and Johnson. So we're going 3 games at least as Kohler steps off the court. Knows they've got a bit of a reset before game number 3.
To change the game, you have to change how you see the game. And we promise, you've never seen the game like this before.
It's time for game number 3 of the men's pro doubles competition here at the Hilton Head Pickleball Open, the gold medal match. Take a look at those scores. And my goodness, Callan Dawson and AJ Kohler have some work to do here in this game 3 as they're coming out of the losers bracket. Looking to push this to another match in the true double final.
Just someone's going to figure out to not test J.W. Johnson in the hands battle. You are not going to come out alive a lot of times.
Hands battle, not just about the speed of your hands, but also the anticipation and recognition of what the opponent's doing. Speaking of which, there's some recognition. JW just sitting there with his forehand open.
And not a bad idea by Kohler trying that Ernie right there, but as he hit that Ernie, he clipped the top of the tape, which slowed that ball down.
Oh, what a save. Gets 2 straight great balls off of Callan Dawson, but can't find the third.
The athleticism of the former collegiate baseball player, Callan Dawson.
Does it land in? It is. There's that athleticism again. Reaching far beyond the boundary of the court, and it pays off.
Beautifully done, Callan Dawson. Again, that athleticism. That's that middle infielder in him.
How about that? I don't even know what that backhand was. Backhand flip around the side.
Doesn't have to be pretty, Cameron. Just effective.
0, 2, 1.
Just off the sweet spot of his Pro Connect paddle.
0, 2, 2.
Gotta love the pink paddle.
AJ Kohler loves to bring that ball in the middle back to his side. You'll see that he'll hood that over and kind of pull that back with him.
Kohler frustrated. He went for there and he had to come back and play the ball.
Yeah, unfortunately, he got himself out of position, and as he came back, tries to play that ball and ends up being up. Put away inside out there for Frazier and Johnson.
2, 1, 1. Point.
Lob long. 3-1 now.
3, 1, 1.
4-1. These two teams met in the winner's bracket final, and it was won in straight games by Johnson and Frazier, 11-7, 11-6. Right now, they're just one game away from gold. See Dawson now on the left side. It's a bit of a change up.
I mean, they are above their years here. 18 and 19 years old, but play so smart, so well, so patient. Attack at the right times. Where's the trigger pull going to come from?
Long rally still continues. Oh, and doesn't get the trickle his direction. They're trying to just wear them down. But nonetheless, the point still goes to Johnson and Frazier, 6-1. So we will have an end change here in game 3.
Yeah, and that is just, you know, wearing down your opponent by Frazier and Johnson right there. Just getting Dawson and Kohler sucked into that kind of slow game where it almost seemed like they were waiting for them to attack, and they didn't. They just kept wearing them down, and then the unforced error from Dawson and the end change on the side of Johnson and Frazier up 6-1.
It's a little battle of attrition too, right? Your brain mentally, not only physically, you're now in game 3. You've been playing it all day in the heat. Things have definitely cooled off now late into the evening as we've hit about 8:30 p.m. on the East Coast. But these athletes, they continue to battle physically, mentally, late into the evening.
Yeah, this bracket started at 8 in the morning. 12 and a half hours later,
Here we are.
We're in game 3 of the gold medal match.
It's back out after the end change. Frazier and Johnson just a few points away from that gold. Now on their second serve.
6-1, 2. Set up.
Out of the timeout, 2 straight balls go the direction of Dawson and Kohler, so things looking a little bit better for them now in game 3. See if they can put a few on the board. We saw a steady run from them in game 1. Change of direction again. Continuing to try and lull them away. Can't take a break mentally, can't take a break physically. Stay on every contact. The lob.
Just long there off the paddle of Callan Dawson. He thought he had him sucked in perfectly.
And he did. I don't think they would have gotten to that ball had it been in.
No, it would have never got to it.
Couple great dig volleys from Kohler. Lob goes in for Dylan Frazier. And again, that's the same thing. Callan Dawson just hitting barely the top of the net. It doesn't roll his direction. In the middle of that, though, he defended the lob. It looked like he was running the bases.
Yeah, exactly. Ran all the way around. The first second.
Ran all the way around.
Came back, skips third, and came straight home.
A return missed, 7-1. So after a little bit of a stalemate at 6-1,
7-1-1.
Frazier and Johnson add one.
If I am AJ Kohler and Callan Dawson right now, I am completely isolating Dylan Frazier. Nothing personal, but I just feel like they have a better chance of going at Dylan Frazier than they do JW Johnson right now.
Well, and so far, JW's seen every ball in this rally except for that last.
Yeah, and the kid's not missing. I mean, you have to change something up. I know keeping him honest, okay, every once in a while, but let's try and pound the ball to Dylan Frazier and make him beat us. If he beats you, hey, tip your cap, go get your silver check, and you're fine.
Huge smash. How about the hands
I mean,
there?
Everything. What is he not getting back right now?
JW is unstoppable. And there it is. Kohler finishes off the rally.
What is this kid not getting back over right now? He's getting miss hits back over. So, got to change something up here.
1-8-1.
Next door, Julie Johnson just picked up a victory.
She's moving on to the gold medal match. Her and Sarah Mitten.
Ball wide off the dink.
So her and Sarah Mitten look like they'll be moving on playing Kim Kestner and Helen Wilhelm.
8-1. Second server.
I understand where Callan wants to go with that, and that's fine. Execute that or go back to Dill. This is where we need coaching in pickleball.
Nice recovery. Lob at Dylan Frazier, and he's there. What a grab. The ability to change gears so quickly pays off for Dylan Frazier and J.W. Johnson.
Get on that lob and then to recover and get back to the kitchen line in the next shot.
Oh, and overreaching there is A.J. Kohler taking that ball out in front of Callan Dawson.
9, 2, 1.
Too good right there, and the lob from Dylan Frazier again.
So 10-2 brings us to match point and championship point for the teenagers. Can they get it done right here? Not yet, says A.J. Kohler. Another match point opportunity. They're second now. Just long and a much needed side out. So fighting off 2 match points.
Dawson and Kohler on life support right now. Fighting for their life here. They need to string something together because Johnson and Frazier are not going to stay on 10 very long.
Johnson sliding back, not able to find the last one.
Three, 10, 1. Football.
So 2 straight points off the first serve. So playing a little bit better now, back against the wall.
4, 10, 1.
There's a look at that foot fault. 10-4 now. And a 5th point. Could they go all the way? That's the question.
Hey, 3 in a row right here.
Still first serve.
5, 10, 1.
We've seen crazier things in this game.
Ball long.
Timeout.
10-6.
Timeout possibly coming up.
A 4-point run now. Still first serve. Game 1, they trailed 4-9 and came back winning 11-9. Pushing that ball back out of the middle. Fighting that one off of his feet. They stay with JW. And this again.
Wow, a rare mistake there from J.W. Johnson. He's just trying to reset that. And there's the Jigsaw Health hydration break that we were looking for from Johnson and Frazier, as Dawson and Kohler have rattled off 5 straight.
And it is still their first serve. As you take a look at that score, all of a sudden it just changed at one point or another. It was 10-2. That was our score at one point. So wild.
10-2, and they had 2 match points, championship points on their paddle, and Dawson and Kohler hold them off and then turn around and score 5 straight, still on first server.
So a ton of grit being shown right now by Dawson and Kohler, still with first serve. So that means they're going to have another opportunity. Even if they lose a rally, we do play to 11 points. And again, coming out of the losers bracket are Dawson and Kohler, so they'd have to win here and then push it again to another match in the true double final, which would be 1 game played to 15. Can they continue to a 6-point run here? Again, JW play forehand to backhand as the speed up comes from JW. Second serve now.
Let's see if AJ Kohler can get on a run on his serve right now.
7-10-2.
And we've seen AJ do that so many times, driving that third ball, then trying to play the fifth a bit more shallow. They come right back at him.
10-7-1.
So third match point, Johnson and Frazier. With the lob, and so apropos to go that direction. Gold going to Dylan Frazier and J.W. Johnson. And J.W. Johnson goes back-to-back nights taking home the gold here in Hilton Head.
We'll have an opportunity for that triple crown tomorrow in singles as Julie Johnson jumps on court, gives her son a hug.
But hats off again to the number 6 seed. That's an incredible run as they take away silver. Dawson and Kohler. And you gotta love the fight they showed, not only in game 1, but also in game number 3, as well as they picked up game number 2. So an incredible battle here in the men's pro double of the APP Hilton Head Pickleball Open. And I believe we're gonna send it to the Franklin Pickleball Studio, where Dom, you get a chance to catch up with our winners.
To change the game, you have to change how you see the game. And we promise, you've never seen the game like this before.
At my age, I get to spend even more time with family and friends and do the things I love. It's also that time when you get to look into more serious things, like Medicare. And maybe you'd like to spend hours on end researching every available option. I wanted someone who could guide me through the process. To compare plans in your area, visit eHealth's website or call one of eHealth's licensed insurance agents today.
Go again, until you strike just right, until the ball sings, until the other guy blinks, until the court's clear, and the sun sets, until you see it in your sleep, and wake up swinging. Go again, till you can't miss, until you can't lose. Go again, and again.
Bow Pickleball.
One more time in the Franklin Pickleball Studio, I'm with J.W. Johnson and Dylan Frazier after their gold medal victory over A.J. Kohler and Callan Dawson. Boys, it goes 3. You drop game 1, 11-9 in a tight one. It was a game of runs back and forth. Handle game 2, 11-4. Then you're up 10-2, go straight to game 3, and they make a little bit of a run, go on a 5-point run, make it 10-7. What are you thinking at that point? Because you don't burn a timeout. But what are you thinking, Dylan, when they get down that little run there?
I just think that we need to settle in a little bit, dink it around a little bit, play our game. We just need one side out before we could take it home.
And you guys did that right there. JW, coming into that, Callan's going to lob a lot, right?
Yeah.
Even though it's coming, it's very hard to defend, especially when he can hit spots like he did. And he hits that back corner so well where he'll split the middle, go over both you guys and hit that back corner. How do you play against a guy who can do that so well?
I was having to back up actually just to get an advantage over that, but of course there's a disadvantage too of me being off the line. But I just tried to look for it as much as I could, and obviously sometimes I did, sometimes it was just too good. So. And
in the first match, he was 8 for 9 success in that one. This one he was a little lower with the success rate, more like 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10. But when you're playing against someone like that and he's kind of moving the ball around, almost that pusher mentality, not really hitting a lot of dinks like that, or hard dinks, what do you do with someone like that too?
Yeah, it's tough because when he's pushing you around, and we're off the line a lot because we're trying to be ready for the lob. So just got to go for high percentage shots, keep the ball in the middle of the court maybe sometimes until we get a dink that we can do something with.
And then J-Dub, the hands battles, you won most of those. Given like a kind of little spry smile over there to AJ Kohler every time you got the best of them. But again, you looking for that. You want that hands battle. You're looking for them to speed that up because your hands are so good and you want to win that battle. Are you almost kind of looking for them to speed that up and want them to speed that up there?
Yeah, usually. I'm usually sitting middle or backhand if they're going backhand a lot. And then I'm just ready to counter that and get into the fast hands, like you said. So
I want him to. I want him to speed up to J-Dub.
Exactly. As his partner, you want that. And then just a little bit at the end, Dylan, they seem to kind of almost want to solo you out and single you out a little bit towards the end. But then it's almost like as soon as they do that to you, you heat up.
Yeah.
And so you're looking at that and seeing that?
Yeah, it's definitely easier. The more involved you are, the easier it is. You can kind of zone in.
Yeah, so, well, congratulations, boys. Gold medal. J-Dub, you had a little a comment there for Dylan at the end of that. As soon as that match is over, you're like, hey, you're going to help me out with that Triple Crown tomorrow? And Dylan's like, hey, I'm rooting for you, but as soon as we play against each other, not so much.
Yeah, well, that's true. Well, I guess we'll see what happens, huh?
See what happens.
We'll see what happens. Well, congratulations, boys. We're going to sign off here for ESPN Plus for the evening. Gold medalist J.W. Johnson, Dylan Frazier here in the men's pro doubles bracket. Tomorrow, we'll be back on For the Fans and YouTube and Facebook early in the morning at 10:30, an hour earlier, and then on ESPN Plus starting at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Men's and women's pro singles all day. Thank you guys for joining us. We're signing off. We'll see you tomorrow.